I acknowledge that this is going to be a very controversial video that I'm going to record, but fuck, let's have a conversation. So, my brother here commented and said that slavery in Africa was different than the slavery of America. It was of a form of servitude, if you will, serfdom. You could marry and achieve freedom to a certain extent. So, before we dive into this topic, I just want to add this that there is modern day slavery happening in Africa right now. If you go to Tunisia, Libya, there is modern day slavery right now. People who are trying to escape from the poor regions of people, of war torn parts of certain countries in Africa, they are trying to go to Europe or go to certain parts of Asia through Libya and Morocco, or we'll say, and Tunisia, and getting sold into slavery trade. They're having slave trade markets right now in North Africa. I just want to add that. But we're talking about history, so we'll just move past that and go to history. So when you have a conversation about slavery in Africa, I'm going to assume my brother here was talking about the slavery practices in between certain ethnic groups, be it Bantu, be it Mandinka or whatever, the practice in between their groups. I'll say, but if you're going to have a conversation about the history of slavery as a whole in Africa, you have to talk about the Arab slave trade as well. See, most people, the narrative that's kind of pushed is that white people, Europeans, just destroyed and decimated and raped the entire continent of Africa with the slave trade. I cannot say that per se, because I think Africa, East Africa, North Africa, Central Africa has been dominated and has been victimized by the Arab slave trade. I'm not being racist. That is just what it is called on historical record, Arab slave trade for the 12th to 13th centuries. A lot of people don't know that. The longest slave trade that you have had in Africa has been by Muslim-populated, Muslim-led countries in Africa. When you meet black people from Iraq, but the proper way it's supposed to say is Iraq. When you meet black people from Iraq, they ain't there because it feels good in the summer. They're just like you and me. They're descendants of the slaves that were brought to Iraq centuries ago. I'm talking about way before a Dutchman thought about taking my black ass to Virginia to pick some cotton. I'm talking about I think the Zans Rebellion was like in 840 or something like that. Like, so if you're going to have a conversation about slavery in Africa, it goes deeper than just the white man. It goes deeper than just slavery practice in between warring tribes in Africa. It goes deep, bro.